Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri and took up the mantle of Black Panther after the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman. She said recently there is, quote, a lot of things on the way. However, Marvel and Marvel Studios has not announced officially that Black Panther 3 is going to be happening just yet. However, it was just announced that at Hall H in San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel will officially be holding a panel there, which will probably give us the future plans for the overall MCU, and potentially a Black Panther 3 film could get announced there. But apparently the rumor going around right now is that in a potential Black Panther 3, Shuri will pass the Black Panther mantle down to young T'Challa, who they announced at the end of the last film in a post-credit scene was the son of Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa that he had with Nakia. So Shuri, along with Nakia and Okoye, will raise him to be the next ruler of Wakanda in that movie, potentially. So, if that's the way they go about it, what do you think about that?
It sucks. Like, that Chadwick Boseman passed away.
I thought this was going in a different direction.
No, because in the comics there was where she was Black Panther. Just see where it goes. I mean, it just sucks because he nailed it. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just shitty. Like, so way to put it. But I was totally fine with her in the last one. Like, I was totally fine with her being Black Panther. I saw no problem with it. But again, because obviously it happened anyway. So
yeah, they just had to accelerate the plans for that due to the thing.
It just sucks that it came about because of that. You know what I mean?
And Boseman was awesome. I mean, he was great. He was one of the most awesome superheroes in the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, man, he nailed it. He nailed Black Panther.
Well, and people got to understand too that yes, the MCU kind of took a little bit of a dip after Endgame because obviously they kind of had to find their way. You got to understand, Captain Marvel didn't quite hit like they hoped it would. They wanted to center a lot of the new stuff around her. Chadwick Boseman dying, they wanted to center a lot of the new Avengers stuff around him. So that especially put things off a little bit. And Black Panther 2 came off much better than it probably had any right to be because of the fact with him dying literally right when they were going into production onto it. The fact that it came off half as good as it did is an achievement in and of itself. So I think people need to kind of give Marvel a little credit there. But yes, they've had their down moments for sure. Now, there's also rumors going around that after Secret Wars, the upcoming big Avengers crossover stuff that they're going to be doing, that they may be rebooting the MCU a little bit, starting with all brand new actors, but continuing with these characters.
And I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I think it'd be the right time too.
I think that's fine. I think that's a great place for a reboot.
Yeah, because you bring in all these old X-Men characters, like you get one final hurrah with them, Deadpool, Wolverine. Now, Deadpool may stick around a little longer. We'll have to wait and see. And some new characters like the Fantastic Four or some new characters they've just recently introduced. Like maybe if they bring in a Miles Morales, they can maybe continue that moving forward. But like the Iron Mans, the Caps, the Thors, they can all get recast and continue them with different actors.
MCU's doing the right thing here by taking their time with their decision making. They're not. I that's how I feel about the DC films. Is I feel like they didn't take their time to let it grow.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Marvel's done a really good job of that, of letting the fan base experience not necessarily just new characters, but expanding their characters' storylines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what Marvel did a good job of doing.
Well, since you brought up the topic of DC, have you been following anything that they've been doing lately leading into their new universe?
Not very much, but I will try to bear with you.
Okay. Well, I've got some videos here on this channel that you can check out as well. But they've got lots of movies and TV series in development. It's James Gunn who's running it, who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So the fact that he knows creatively what Marvel did and their structure, he's bringing that over now to DC, in my opinion. So
and Guardians was awesome too.
Exactly. I think all three movies, they're a little weaker in spots here and there, but at the same time, overall, all three good movies, in my opinion. Yeah, and the Suicide Squad movie that he directed as well was really entertaining, as well as Peacemaker. Peacemaker was hilarious.
Those movies were good.
Yeah, exactly. And Peacemaker was great. Peacemaker was hilarious. I thought John Cena killed that role. So if he takes everything he knows about the Marvel structure and brings that over to DC, I think they've got a good
And
thing
if
going.
that's the way they want to proceed with Black Panther, back to the topic though,
Yeah.
that would be great. And it is very difficult to name when a character is like born for that role. It's very hard to follow up with another actor. It's really hard to do that. But yeah, the Black Panther stuff, like I said, it's very hard for an actor to repeat a role like that. And it was the same thing we got into a couple weeks back about Robert Downey Jr. It's very hard to duplicate that success. I'm not saying it's not possible.
Yeah.
It very well could be possible. And this person that you're saying is going to be handed down to, they could raise them up and he could be perfect for it.
Well, same with Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's going to be hard to replace too when he finally decides to do it.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get him, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, everybody back one more time.
I think
maybe twice.
I can't. Hold on. I can't see anybody playing Deadpool though. Like I just can't.
Well, that's why I kind of wonder if he might stick around a while because he's only done the 2 movies so far. Well, 3 if you count Wolverine Origins.
I think that Deadpool movie may be a contender for the high box top.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, you got to leave a couple of them to kind of teach the new ones, right?
Yeah,
right. Which is why I think Tom Holland will stick around a little longer too.
It's rated R.
He's still young enough to still pull it off.
It's going to be funny. People are going to want to see it. It's going to be high in the box office.
Well, in regards to Black Panther too, you got to remember when this all happened, there were fans going, "Okay, well, we want T'Challa still, so just recast." But Marvel, I think, did do the right thing and necessarily not recasting right away. Because if you do that too, people think you're crapping on his legacy. And they loved him so much that it's a bad thing. So they kind of did the best of both worlds a little bit, as best as they could. They wrote it in a way to where the eventual new Black Panther is still named T'Challa. It's just T'Challa the second, like his junior, his son. So in that regard, you can still recast, but or do some time travel stuff where you maybe travel to where he's older later on. So yeah.
And it respected Chadwick's role.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they gave him a proper burial. Perfect. Yeah, I agree with that. And they did it very tastefully too, in my opinion.
Yeah, the second time a movie got me emotional. Was watching his whole funeral.
Yeah, knowing. Well, not only that, the way the movie structured it too was they didn't like have somebody in a suit getting killed on screen. It was off screen. It was like a disease that Shuri was trying to cure him of, which kind of mirrored the cancer that he had in real life. So again, it just gave it that extra emotional punch. It just sucks. It just really does.
It really did.
Not only that, I kept hearing stories that he actually thought up to the week he actually died that he fully believed that he was going to beat it. So it's like at the last moment, like it's just like it just took him. It's like that's just.
And like I said with Brandon, there will never be an actor that nails him.
But they shouldn't try to.
Yeah, you're right.
You make it your own, but that's what he did. He made that role his own.
What he was going to be.
It
sucks. It does. It just sucks.
Hopefully, whenever they do recast, and either it's a brand new T'Challa from another universe or his son that was that they set up at the end of the last one, I hope they just kind of, since he's named T'Challa too, continue to tell T'Challa stories from the comics. You can do that. You can make that work. You could even maybe do this new one. Maybe it's involved with the new Storm that's going to be introduced with the X-Men that's going to be rebooted at some point too. That's always a possibility. So. All sorts of good things coming down the line for Black Panther. You just got to give them a little time because they had a big thing they had to deal with when they were redoing all this. So, Thank you for checking out this clip from the Dragon's Den podcast. If you like what you saw here, please consider checking out our live podcast almost every single Friday night here on the channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And until our next video, guys, take care and God bless.